Hello, everyone. Hi. So today, this presentation is going to be about the white supremacy and how they win again. How are they continually shaping society? They use the same laws that send thousands of black and brown people around the country to jail to get them off. Okay, the next slide is going to be about Jacob Blake. I'm not sure if you guys heard about him or not, but this is a nightmare that started with a tragic shooting of Jacob Blake.
On the police shooting of Jacob Blake, authorities now revealing the identity of the officer who shot the 29-year-old father in the back. Alex Perez is there with the very latest. And Alex, another night of protests.
Yeah, good morning, Cecilia. After 3 nights of violent and deadly protests, additional National Guardsmen were called in, and things were peaceful here overnight. Now, authorities this morning are telling us more about the officer who shot Jacob Blake. Authorities identifying the Kenosha officer seen in videos shooting Jacob Blake 7 times in the back as Rustin Shesky. Authorities say he's a 7-year veteran of the force. Investigators say before the shooting, Blake admitted to officers he had a knife. That knife was found on the floor inside of his vehicle. Now, separately, authorities have arrested 17-year-old Kyle Rittenhouse from neighboring Illinois on charges of first-degree murder in connection with shootings Tuesday night that left 2 people dead and 1 injured. Authorities confirmed Rittenhouse was armed with a long gun and captured on videos saying he had come to the area to protect property. Now, Shesky and the 2 other officers who responded to that call are on administrative leave pending outcome of this investigation. George?
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Robert.
Okay, you guys just seen the video. Kyle claimed to drive 21 miles to protect property, but how many 17-year-olds do you know own property across state lines? None, I tell you. He crossed state line and illegally carried a weapon. Main objective was to murder the protesters of Black Lives Matters who was protesting police brutality given the recent events of Jacob Blake. He literally had no reason to come bother the people who were standing up for this wicked judicial system. The charges that was filed against him was first-degree intentional homicide, first-degree reckless homicide, attempted first-degree homicide, recklessly endangering the safety of others on count 1, and recklessly endangering the safety of others on count 2. Okay. We live in 2 Americas in the United States, the land of the free and the land of not the free, unless you're white. Case in point, you have 2 17-year-olds, Kyle, who carried an assaulted rifle, and Trayvon Martin, who carried a 99 cent bag of Skittles. Kyle killed and injured 3 people, and all Trayvon did was walk in the rain with his hoodie on. Kyle was found not guilty, and Trayvon was killed simply because of the color of his skin by George Zimmerman, who's like Kyle, decided to take the law into their own hands, and like Kyle, George was found not guilty. Blame the victims. How is it their fault they got shot at the protest by an armed gunman? So not only did he shoot and kill or injure unknown people, but the judicial system placed the blame on the victims. During the trial, the victims couldn't be referred to as victims. They was referred to as looters, rioters. Great way to victim shame. Regardless, it was never proven that they were any of those things. That is how the courts see these innocent dead victims as. They spent more time concerned about the victim's past, which they knew nothing about. They used the victim's past as a justification on why it's okay they got killed by a teenager who decided to take the law into his own hands, even though he didn't know these people at all. Not guilty. Not guilty on all 6 charges. I know you're thinking how sway. Here's how. They could happen. For one, the judge on the case allowed him to pick which jurors to remove after they heard all parts of the testimony, randomly selecting jurors to remove using a cup. Before the jury, the judge dismissed the gun charge because he didn't like how it was worded. What happens when domestic abuse victims use the same defense? They go to jail. Thousands of women went to jail for self-defense. At least 230,000 women are incarcerated that are abuse survivors. At least 30% was charged with murder and manslaughter, even though they was defending themselves against sexual and physical attacks. People such as Cyntoia Brown was sentenced to life in prison for killing her sex trafficker, acted in self-defense. Thankfully, years later, her sentence was overturned. But think of how many more are just like her and are rioting away for simply standing up for themselves. They didn't go out looking for people to shoot and kill, but in fact, just killed the man who has been beating and raping them for years. How is it their self-defense case isn't seen as a self-defense, but Kyle's is? At the moment, we have to find our resources to help bring this to an end. We need to rewrite the judicial system. It isn't designed to protect the innocents, but in fact, it enables these white supremacists to take the law into their own hands and make a victim responsible for it. In the words of Colin Kaepernick, we just witnessed a system built on white supremacy violated the terrorist attack of a white supremacist. This only further violates the need to abolish our current system. White supremacies cannot be reformed. We need help to end this type of treatment in America. And that's all, guys. Thank you.
Ew. So what do you think needs to change in the system to become more fair to all skin tones and skin colors?
I believe that to make it fair, you should look at everyone as an equal. I don't believe that you should judge people by the skin of their color. I also believe that, like they said in the presentation on the jury, you can't pick and choose who you want to subsidize the, pause that.